Hi, I'm Holly, and I've been a full-time artist for about 8 years, and over really a lifetime, I've honed a style sort of organically, and it's become very consistent. So why am I making a video about finding my art style again? I really love adult illustrated books. I think they're so much fun, and I wanted to make one of my own. I came up with an idea a couple of years ago that I've done a lot of research on because it's nonfiction, and now it's time for the art. I've made a lot of art over the years, but it hasn't really been character art. I've made a few drawings of people, like for this Game of Thrones book on the very last page. But it's pretty static, and there's not really a lot of, it's not very dynamic. I really wanted to make something where even if it's just a bust, maybe there's some movement with the hands and a lot of expression on the face. So I knew I was gonna have to work again and try to find an art style specific to book illustration and to character design. So I'm going to take you through kind of how I found some of that inspiration and take a look at my art for the book as it evolved and as I changed direction with the art style, and you'll see why in a bit. I want to take you through this short illustrated nonfiction book project that I'm working on. I'm just going to show you one of my illustrations and how it evolved and where I gathered inspiration and why I decided that I needed a change. Before I started using digital art many years ago with my Wacom and the GIMP program, I did some block printing, and that really influenced my style. Even though this is digital, I really kind of like it to look a little bit like it's been block printed, or at least to make one sort of call that to mind. But as I was working on this style for the book, I just felt really stifled, and it was taking me forever to finish an image and then go on to the next one. And I realized I really needed to shake things up and find a style that it was just a pleasure to draw. And this just really wasn't it. So I'm going to go through some of my inspiration. I get a lot of inspiration from other illustrated books, you know, anywhere from children's to adult books. But I just pulled some of these off of Pinterest because they're a lot easier to take a look at. So what I did was, when I found an image that I really thought was striking for whatever reason, I took a look at its essence and made the decision of what is the thing that really draws me to this image. And then I wanted to make sure I incorporated that in my work. So I really love this pencil sketch style. It's fantastic, but what I really loved most about this is I love these sloping shoulders. Instead of that strong square shoulder, you have these shoulders that just kind of slope down, and I just thought it made the drawing look really fantastic. And with this one, I really just love those pronounced round ears. Those are just great, and it makes it look a little bit more cartoony and fun. Let's look at these. So a lot of artists do this, but these are just two examples. But I really love when a nose is colored in. It just gives it just such a great look. There's just something about it. It gives it a little depth without, you know, being too realistic. So I wanted to incorporate those in. So I've got kind of a pencil sketch look here, and I was really liking it. I also love how I just did these sort of fat arms and hands. So I was really enjoying that. but it wasn't quite there. I wanted to take it just a little bit further. So I did this one and I really started to like it. You can see the sloped shoulders like I had in the other one. Got the rounded ears. We've got this nose that's colored in. But I don't know, there was just something about having so many lines, like especially in the hair, and I really wanted a softer look. So another inspiration I drew from was this one. There's no outlines to the hair, which I really liked. And I love these sort of like lines around the nose and the eye. I just thought that was really fantastic. So for this next one, I was like, this is it. I love it. I'm down with this. I could draw in this style and just be really happy. So I carried over a lot of those same features, the fat arms, I got the sloped shoulders, I got the big ears, but then I took the ears and shaded them differently and kind of made them my own. And I took out all those lines around the hair, made it a lot softer, added some texture for that 5 o'clock shadow, and then I made those lines around the eyes, but did them in my own style so they looked unique to me and not like the other artists. So that's really the big test, is I wanted to take a look and see, am I copying anything too closely? So when I look at all of these and then I look at my own, I'm like, is there one where I just, it looks really similar? And thankfully the answer is no. I was able to take some of these elements, but really make them different and special to my own art. She's got this distinct line in the middle of the ear where I've done this like really kind of shaded look, and they've got the sloped shoulders, but they've got that strong outline where I've definitely gone for the softer look with less lines. And then of course we've got the colored in nose, but mine looks quite a bit different because we've got some more texture with the lines. And so yeah, so this is how I started to develop a character style that was influenced from all of my favorite parts of all of my favorite character sketches from other artists, but I made it my own. And now that we've looked at the character design itself, we're going to take a look at building a color palette, because I think that having a really unique color palette is integral to being an artist and having that identity, whether it's your overall art palette, like my art palette that I use a lot of those same colors over and over again, which gives my art continuity, or if it's for a specific book project. I think color is so important, even when it's a black and white book with maybe just one color or just a couple pops of color. That use of color and the colors that we choose, I think, are just as important as the character design itself. We're going to look at color now, and I'm going to show you a kind of a fun and easy way to kind of get inspiration for color palettes. You can save photos that you've taken or you found, and if you use Procreate like I do, you can pull up your colors. You have different modes of looking at color, and we're going to go to Palettes and click the plus button and New from Photos, and then click on a saved photo, and it creates a palette based on the photo that you've selected. So this is a great way to kind of take a look, and you can use different images and just pick your favorite colors from those palettes. I like this palette in particular. I think this has a lot of great colors. So based on some palettes that I really liked, I came up with these different colors, and each color is going to represent a different chapter in my book. And so all of my images right now are just this kind of black and white, but once I kind of decide completely that these will be the colors that I use, then I'll kind of go in and add those to my image. Color is just so much fun, and I do really find that I use a lot of the same colors over and over again. I'm obsessed with rust color and sort of a mustard yellow, also like this kind of like peachy pink color is just so wonderful. I kind of find myself using them over and over again. So I don't know if I'm going to stick with those or try to go out of my comfort zone a little bit. But either way, it's just a lot of fun to play around with, and it's not something that I really need to worry about until I have all of these drawings done anyway. So I hope you all have a lot of fun playing with color, especially if you didn't know that that tool existed in Procreate, because really I think color makes the image. You can have the simplest image, and if you choose colors wisely, make them really striking, it could just really make the image sing. So it's something that I really enjoy playing around with. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you like this video. It was a lot of fun to make. I really like delving into the choices that we make as artists and why we make those choices and how they come about. I really like kind of doing those behind the scenes and letting you all know what I'm up to and how I'm doing it and why I'm up to it. So I thank you again so much. See you in the next one.